welcome back, boys. Today we are doing a special video. It is a movie review, actually, for Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. I was really surprised that this movie was even made. It was a Winnie the Pooh horror movie. So the only reason why this movie was technically even made was because of the copyright for Winnie the Pooh and a couple other characters. I believe Owl, Eeyore, and Piglet also had their copyright end, but I think that the kangaroo, the Tigger, and I think another character is like still up for trademark for a while. So we might not see them in the future movies for a long time per se. But yeah. When this movie got revealed for the trailer specifically, I was like, what the hell? This is like a weird horror movie parody of Winnie the Pooh. And I was legit thinking like, nah, this is completely fake. But no, this movie was real. And my girlfriend actually took me to see it too, because she was like, hey, yo, let's watch the Winnie the Pooh movie. I was like, oh, that's real. Okay. So yeah. We go to a drive-ins and everything. We got our food, and then we start the movie. And let me just give you a quick rundown what happens. I'm gonna try to keep it as spoiler-free, cause hey, if you wanna enjoy the movie, then hey, if you like, let me just give you a quick summary of the review, just so you guys know. So if you like horror invasion, a little budget house invasion movie, I think you're gonna like it. It's got all the horror aspects that you would want. Just someone breaks into a house, then starts taking people out one by one, and then there's only a couple people left. And yeah, I'm not gonna go any further on that part, okay? And we'll just we'll talk about more about the plot details later in the video. But let me just talk about what happened in the movie. Or let me just give you the setting, the beginning part, why is Winnie the Pooh murdering people now? So the movie starts off in a very interesting way. It starts off animated of all things, and I'm like, whoa, cool, animated. I haven't seen animation in a film in a while. Last time I saw it was in Venom 2. So yeah. It's an animated portion. That's the beginning part where it shows Christopher Robin encountering the creatures of the 100-Acre Woods, and then it shows him become friends with them, and he gets them food. They call them crossbreeds in the movie, abominations. But yeah, he slowly becomes friends with them, and then he eventually grows old enough where he has to go off to college, and live his life. But he was kind of supplying Winnie the Pooh and the other creatures of the woods with the food. So there's a winter that comes, and it is unfortunate for them because they do not have the food, nor do they know how to get food. So they end up nearly starving to death. And what happens is that they have to pick one of their friends off, and unfortunately, it was Eeyore that drew the short straw. So yeah, they eat Eeyore. And they get so traumatized by the event that they vow never to speak again in the movie, to be like animals again. So then it just goes off on a whole thing of they just go on a murder spree, just kidnapping people who show up in the 100-Acre Woods. So yeah, then there's a little bit of a time skip. Christopher Robin comes back with his wife, and his wife gets executed real quick, and then Winnie the Pooh and Piglet are shown. No other creature from Winnie the Pooh is shown either. So I'm not sure if they're gonna save them for the sequel or not. I believe Owl is there, and it was Owl and another one. I think it was Owl and Rabbit. But yeah, Owl and Rabbit are not shown in the movie. It's just Piglet and Winnie the Pooh. So maybe they're gonna be saved for a movie. I don't know. But yeah, what happens later is that Winnie the Pooh kills off the wife of Christopher. I think Christopher Robin, he like, yeah, and then like they burn her or something, and then they show Christopher Robin's like the body of Eeyore, and then he's like, oh no, but like that part's animated because they drag him through the dirt, and yeah, like that's the premise, like that's the start, and then it shows like a montage of like Winnie the Pooh and Piglet just like committing murders, and yeah, like that's the beginning of the movie. I thought that part was very strong. I was like, damn, this movie's gonna be sick. And you know, at some parts I'm like, yeah, I like it. It's like a small budget horror film. I'm not gonna like be like, hey, this needed to be The Sopranos, this needed to be like Joker, this needed to be like a high tier movie. I was more like, I'm here to have a good time, and the movie didn't get me bored. What it then shows later in the film is just like a group of characters, all females. They build a house like in the 100-acre woods, and you know that's like that's why like Winnie the Pooh is even there, because like the house is so close to Winnie the Pooh and Piglet's like crib that they're like, hey yo, someone's in our crib. So then they're like, they start murdering everyone there. And yeah, there's stuff that happens later in the movie that I really don't want to talk about, but generally from the premise, I'm like, hey, it's small, it's low budget, but I think it has heart, because what it does with the film, like how it treats a lot of its scenes too, it's like it treats it pretty like straight, which is something I didn't really expect. I thought it was gonna be a little more campy. And it's a lot more serious, which I was also like, oh, okay. Because like what I expected it to be like super campy, like Winnie the Pooh would just be like dropping like, oh, it's honey time, blood is thinner than honey, and you know, just like all those stuff. But no, it's just like it plays it very serious, because like they do not talk the entire movie. It's kind of crazy too. I didn't think they would kill off a certain character, so that was like, oh, well, I guess they're not going to be in the sequel. But yeah, I think, you know, for me, I think it's enjoyable. Like, hey, I like bad movies, I like cheesy movies, and I can find humor in seeing Winnie the Pooh just straight up murder people. You know, like, I'm not like a fucking stickler. I'm like, oh, I need this movie to be literally the best. Like, I'm like, hey, it was enjoyable. I liked what happened. I think the cinematography sometimes goes hard, because I don't know. I've been seeing like in a lot of movies recently, mainly a lot of Marvel movies, that like the cinematography is kind of like just like really flat. There's not really that many flat angles. There's just more like creative angles is what I want to say. Like I like the cinematography in that too, if that like matters for some people. I do like the animated bits. I wish there was an animated bit at the end on what Winnie the Pooh did, but there wasn't. Although I'm not gonna be like I wanted the entire movie to be animated. I just thought that the animation bits like did go very well in the movie, and yeah, I thought it was entertaining for me. I'd watch it again. I'd watch a sequel of it too, honestly, because like, hey, if there's gonna be things that are in the sequel, there's a couple things that I want, because this movie was made with a budget of less than $80,000. So there are a couple things I want on the wish list. First thing, I want more animation scenes. I think the animation scenes like should stay. You know, if it's gonna be like a trademark of the movie series, hey, that'd be cool. Another thing is I want to see more flashbacks. If they have like more money in the budget, I kind of want to see them like eat Eeyore. And another thing I want to see in the sequel is maybe the other like creatures in the 100-acre woods. You know, if they're able to like somehow film it and make it with like practical effects, because now CGI is kind of wonky, because like especially for your low budget too, it's kind of hard to make good CGI. So hey, if it works, it works. Also, another thing I want is like more practical effect deaths. I think like that's really sick. I love just like the way the gore shows up in the movie. I kind of like love like all the splatters. I think that's really cool in the movie. And yeah, I'd watch it. I'd watch a sequel of it too, just because like, hey, like it's pretty creative too. Like honestly, like out of like all the other movies I've watched recently, like it's like one of the more creative ones. So yeah, I honestly give it like I'd give it like a 7, a 6.5. But for like enjoyability, like I'd give it an 8. Like I would watch it again, but you know it's just like my own personal taste, honestly. And yeah, if you guys want me to review more movies, just let me know. This is just something that is like more unedited. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and remember, like, comment, and subscribe.